This is an HMI panel that we did for model ambulances, but wouldn't you believe that it was made on a GUI framework that is free? To achieve that, we've used a framework called LVGL that is doing some bold moves in the embedded industry. In this video, we'll take a high-level look at LVGL as a GUI framework and explore why companies choose it for their projects. If you're considering LVGL, make sure to watch until the end. This YouTube format is not enough to compare LVGL with other technologies, so we've prepared a deep dive comparison of popular GUI frameworks, Qt, Flutter, LVGL, Slint and others in one paper. So if you enjoyed the Qt versus Android benchmark, you will like this one too. Before we start, we are Somco Software, an embedded software development company. In Somco Software, we build real products with multiple GUI frameworks. We specialize in Qt and LVGL. Check our channel for amazing tutorials, and if you want to work with us, reach out. We can help you with any topic related to embedded software. Now let's go back to the video. So first, what exactly is LVGL? It stands for Light and Versatile Graphics Library. It's an open source GUI library written in C, designed specifically for embedded systems. Architecture-wise, it's built to be portable. You can run it on bare metal, on top of an RTOS, or on Linux. You just need a display and input drivers. And the key characteristic is its resource profile. LVGL is designed to run on microcontrollers with relatively limited RAM and flash space. In our example of ambulance HMI panel that I prepared, we used an STM32 with just 2 MB of flash and 1 MB of RAM. So it's pretty limited system, which makes it perfect fit for LVGL. But what's cool, and people don't talk about it much, is the fact that at the same time LVGL can scale up to more capable MPUs if needed. Today, LVGL is most commonly used in smart home panels and IoT devices, wearables, home appliances, e-mobility dashboards, handheld instruments and measurement devices, and some categories of non-invasive medical devices. In other words, products where you want a modern graphical interface, but you are working with typical embedded hardware limits. For instance, a lot of modern GUI frameworks don't support such low-level targets. With Flutter, it's difficult, and with Qt, you can do it using Qt for MCU, but in most cases, that requires a commercial license. If your product budget or power consumption targets limit your hardware choices, LVGL gives you a way to still deliver a polished interface. And this brings us to our second point, which is why companies choose LVGL. When teams evaluate embedded GUI frameworks, LVGL, Qt for MCUs, TouchGFX, or others, the first instinct is often to compare features, widget sets, animation support, benchmark numbers. That's all important and included in our comparison PDF. Yet, in many projects, those aren't the only differentiators. Most mature frameworks can deliver a polished UI on appropriate hardware. There are differences in what you can achieve with a given framework and how easily, but for many custom UIs, the results are quite similar. LVGL is open source and does not impose royalties. For small production runs, that may not matter, but at scale, recurring licensing fees can significantly influence total product cost. For some organizations, removing that variable simplifies long-term planning and cost forecasting, especially with today's market. Second, stack control. Because LVGL is open source, teams can inspect the implementation, debug issues directly, and modify behavior if necessary. That level of visibility can be valuable in products with long life cycles or deep customization requirements. Commercial frameworks often provide structured tooling and vendor support, but with less direct control over the core. Whether that trade-off is advantage or a limitation depends on the organization. Third, portability. LVGL is written in C and designed to run across a wide range of environments. If you can provide display and input drivers, you can typically bring it up on that platform. For companies maintaining multiple product lines across different hardware tiers, that can reduce fragmentation in the UI stack. So LVGL is rarely chosen because it drones better widgets. It doesn't. It's more tedious to use compared to Qt, Slint or Flutter UI solutions. chosen when licensing simplicity, hardware flexibility, and long-term stack control are important decision factors. For some teams, those priorities outweigh integrated tooling and vendor backend ecosystem. For others, they don't. Now, it's worth mentioning that LVGL is also building its own IDE, called LVGL Pro. You can use LVGL entirely as an open source library, but on top of that, there's now an official UI editor, essentially an IDE for building LVGL interfaces with live preview and a more visual workflow. To be completely frank with you, convenience of coding in LVGL and C is clunky compared to, for example, declarative coding in QML from Qt framework. With LVGL Pro, instead of manually translating designs into code, there's a shift toward a more structured, collaborative workflow. So, where LVGL fits well? The decision comes down to factors: hardware limits, licensing model, product lifecycle. At Somco Software, we use a lot of Qt, but we also develop projects in LVGL, Flutter, and even Rust. We see that with some requirements from our customers, we deliberately choose LVGL in more cases than in past years. At Embedded World, we spoke with a team building industrial machines. One of their challenges was presenting different UI approaches to stakeholders, sometimes even building the same interface in multiple frameworks just to compare how it behaves on real hardware. So, if you're at the stage where you need a working demo, something you can show to investors, stakeholders, or internal teams, we do exactly that. We built a full proof of concept setups, the UI, the hardware, the operating system, all working together. If you want to validate your idea quickly and show it in a real concrete form, reach out to us. So, here's the key takeaways from this video. LVGL isn't about having the most advanced UI features. It's about fitting the right needs. We've looked at what LVGL is capable of, where it makes sense, and how teams actually approach the decision in practice. And if LVGL seems interesting, but you're not fully familiar with Qt yet, watch this video where we break down the Qt framework, its strengths and its trade-offs. And if you're currently evaluating your options, we've also put together a free white paper comparing the most popular embedded UI frameworks. You can grab it in the description below. I'm Mateusz from Somco Software. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!